Greetings, my name is Karen Davino. I am the Superintendent of Schools here in Vernon, and I am so excited to be here today. This is the Superintendent Spotlight. We have not done one in quite some time, but when you have a really special event happening at Vernon High School, it's really important for me to get out and talk to some of our students and one of our coaches. Seated with me today is Coach Myhren, who's one of the coaches of our baseball team up here at Vernon High School. And the really exciting thing that we have are 4 of his baseball players that participated in a service project. So first I'm going to talk to our coach a little bit and ask, how did this whole thing come up? I mean, service is not required of our students here at the high school. So what made you and the team start to think about why we do service?
This is my first year coaching at the high school, and I spent 3 years as a college coach before I came here. And it was one thing that we did when I played there and coached there, where we would go out into the community and do some sort of community service project. And it was huge for the people in the community, but it was also huge for the team. It was a great way for them to kind of get to know each other outside of baseball, outside of school, and just do something fun together. And it always feels good to give back and do something for the community.
Yeah, so for the 4 gentlemen that are with me today, anybody want to share what the service project was that you recently completed with your coach and some of your teammates?
Yeah, so he sent out some emails to see if there's any families in need that needed like yard work or anything done. And we split up into 2 groups last weekend on Saturday and Sunday. We went out to all the houses, helped rake leaves, and helped them out with anything that they needed.
Yeah, that's nice, Jacob. Thanks for sharing. Anybody who wants to share, what was it like to work with? What was the general response, I guess? Let's talk first about the response from the people that you worked with. How did they respond to you gentlemen helping them rake and picking up some of the extra yard work?
The response that we got from all the homeowners, that it was a big help for them, because a lot of them they couldn't really do it themselves.
Yeah.
They either one gentleman had broke his hand 2 weeks before that, so there was no way he was going to be able to rake his yard or do whatever he needed to do. So us going to help, it made us, I would say, made us feel better about ourselves, being able to give back to someone who really needed it.
Were you also dealing with some elderly folks maybe who couldn't get out and do the raking on their own? And then what else? Anything else about the experience maybe that? How did you feel when you participated in the raking and the giving back?
I thought it was pretty cool to get to meet the freshmen kind of in the underclassmen, get to know them better.
Yeah, so maybe some real teamwork, right, and bringing everybody together between the varsity and the freshmen.
A little chemistry.
Chemistry. It also kind of starts to share that climate, or this is who we are for Vernon baseball, right? It's not just how we perform on the field, but it's also how we are as gentlemen. What about other impact that you think you had on folks maybe at their homes?
It was a lot of thanks and gratitude from them, because the one house I went to, she was an old person and couldn't actually do it herself, and she was very happy to see us. And actually people driving by and thanking us for doing our yard work.
Oh, that's so nice.
So it gave Vernon baseball a good representation off the field.
It really did. And one of the things that I really wanted to share, the reason I wanted to highlight this, and it's the week of Thanksgiving, it's a really busy time in our schools, and it is a time to be grateful. But the 4 gentlemen that you see here are not only baseball players, but they're all applying to college. Some of them are working jobs on the side. They're giving back to their community. They've got a great role model as a coach. And these are all the really important things that I think people at home don't always hear about. And one of the things that the audience knows that I share all the time, if you have a child who's at Rolling Hills or Lounsbury or Glen Meadow, wait until you get to the high school, because these are the things that your children will be able to participate in. And having that sense of community, I think you all experienced it between your teammates. How did the freshmen respond? Maybe let's wrap up with that. What about some of the younger, newer students? How did they respond, I guess, first to being part of a community service and also working with all of you?
I mean, I would say coming up as a freshman, and especially going into sports, it's a little bit scary, because you might not think of it, but you're a lot bigger when you're a freshman year to senior year. You don't really realize it, but I mean, I got the chance to connect with a bunch of kids that I probably wouldn't have connected with unless we did that. So because there is a little bit of separation once the season starts.
Yes.
And I thought that was nice to get to know them, get to know what they think of the game, and then know them on a personal level too, because I mean, we just got to know each other by doing what we did.
Do you remember what it was like as a freshman to be a little bit nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big
it was
school.
Scary.
Baseball, if you love it and you want to play, right, there's a lot of pressure. What else about connections with the freshmen? Anything else with the underclassmen that you think are important?
I feel like it set a good standard, maybe a tradition for the future about them looking up to the seniors and being like, wow,
How nice.
I want to do that when I'm a senior.
Yeah. Anything you want to share, Coach?
This senior class was really cool. I actually asked them how they wanted to split up the two groups, if they wanted to do juniors and seniors one group and freshmen, sophomores. And they actually said, we want it to be all 4 grade levels because we want to meet them, we want to get to know them. And like you said, they showed them what this was about. So I had seniors, freshmen, sophomores, juniors in every group. It was just really cool to see them work together, not know each other, and still work together and get something accomplished.
Yeah, that's tremendous. So, I mean, for the folks at home, you know, what it's like to be a Viking, right? This is what it's all about. I couldn't be more proud of our high school athletes, our baseball players, Coach Myhren. We hope everybody has a fabulous Thanksgiving. And don't forget, when you get to Vernon High School, there are amazing, wonderful things happening up here all the time. We can't wait.
Good afternoon, Vernon. We've got some great ideas going on today, and I want to talk a little bit about something that's really fascinating that's happened in the past week. We have received a $1,500 donation from Sussex Rural Electric, and we want to celebrate that by talking about some of the great things that are going on in Vernon. So we're here in the fabrication lab up at the high school with the engineering program to talk about this wonderful gift.
Yeah, it's really quite special and unique. Thank you so much for being with us today. This is the fabrication lab. If those of you at home haven't seen it yet, one of the things I talk to our parents about all the time is if you have a child at Rolling Hills or at Lounsbury or Glen Meadow, this is just one of the amazing programs that your children will have the opportunity to be a part of here when you get up to Vernon High School. And I really am so excited and pleased to have Claudia and Steve with us. They donated $1,500 not only to us, but to 6 schools in Sussex County, which we really appreciate in education. Why don't you talk just a little bit about maybe the history behind the donations and how you selected us?
Well, thank you very much for having us. STEM education is very important. It not only increases the knowledge in the science and technology and engineering, which is very much of what we do for a living.
Absolutely.
But it also is very good to make children better problem solvers.
I agree.
So it's good all the way around. And what we did was we took the sending schools that our members send their children to, and we made a $1,500 donation to each school.
That's great.
For their STEM programs to either update or make better an existing program or to create new programs.
That's great.
So it's just one of the things that the co-op does to be involved in our community.
And $1,500 goes a long way, believe it or not, because some of the equipment is so expensive, right? So we have grants through the state of New Jersey, Perkins funding with the CTE programs. However, it doesn't cover everything. And for our children to have a really well-rounded education, we want them to be using the tools of the industry. So that money is really huge. Were you going to say something?
I was saying, Steve, that's what we were talking about. You're a recent graduate from college and high school, and you realize how much things have changed in the last 5 years in the local high schools,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
As you go around.
I graduated from High Point in 2014, and visiting there and visiting here, it's kind of amazing to see the opportunities that kids these days have to really like learn and develop new skills in ways that even people 4 years ago didn't really have the opportunity to.
Right, we're sitting in a room, Vernon, where the theoretical design happens next door, but the actual building of the product with the laser cutters and water cutters, things that we haven't seen in education in the past, are now available to our students. So this is all part of that process, and that donation helps a great deal with some of these things.
It
We're
does.
happy to help.
Thank you. And I mean, I can't really agree with you more when you talk about problem solving and you're talking about critical thinking and hands-on learning, right? I mean, that what you're seeing in the classroom, Steve, it's much more hands-on, right? And I know when you went through the program it was, but I think as things evolve, it becomes more hands-on, more critical thinking, more problem-solving skills. I'm sure you see that in your line of work. And we in education recognize that that's super important for our students. And this grant, the donation really allows us to kind of expand and enhance what we currently have.
Absolutely.
We are very proud, and I just told the engineering students that we have one of our new engineers at Sussex Rural is Jocelyn Dupree, who is a Vernon graduate.
Yay,
and
that's
she's
wonderful.
just finishing up at NJIT.
Excellent.
And she is working for us. She started as an intern, and now she'll be working with us full time.
Excellent.
So it's
Thank you for sharing that.
it's lovely to have kids from this community and working in this community and flourishing in this community.
That's
so,
wonderful.
and that's what Sussex Rural is all about. giving back and being part of the community.
Right.
So
Right. And that's,
tremendous.
you know, it's always been a wonderful cooperative in which they're taking care of their own. So we thank you very much for this help.
thank you for having us, and it's very nice to see where the money goes.
Okay, once again, another great thing in Vernon that's happening.